is how we're starting, but we are very much looking forward to being able to begin to bring our students back safely in person. I'm also happy to report that to date, we have been able to fulfill all known Chromebook requests for our schools. We had a big shipment that came in on Friday. So any families that still need a computer or a hotspot to ensure that they have access both to computers and to the internet should reach out to their school so that we can make sure that everybody is set up as quickly as possible. I also want to note that meal distribution is still taking place Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. There have been a few changes from this summer, so families can check online to see the sites that have curbside pickup and also where we will have drop-off deliveries throughout the community with more information about that. We're still gradually working on reopening our schools for in-person learning. We are continuing to work very closely and follow the advice of our health partners to make sure that we're prioritizing the health and safety of all of our staff and students. And we're hopeful that we will begin the process to gradually begin welcoming back students we're prioritizing for in-person learning. We're also working on learning centers, remote learning support centers in some of our buildings, where students will be able to participate in their remote learning classes in a safe and supervised environment. And we will continue to share more details on that as soon as we finalize them. So we'll be happy to open it up.
Thanks. Our first question is from Teeny from the Denver Post, asking how much is enrollment down so far and how concerned are you about having to lay off teachers?
Yeah, so thank you for that question. This week and next week historically are big weeks for students to continue to register. So families who may have moved over the summer, we generally find that we see enrollment going up. So we are monitoring that really closely. Obviously, we want to make sure that anybody who has not yet verified their enrollment is doing so. And we're going to be really assertive in trying to connect with the families who we had on our books and anticipating our coming back. It's probably a little bit too early to say for sure where we are down. We do know, for example, and part of the reason why we really want to think about how we can prioritize certain groups of students, particularly for our younger students, the remote learning environment can be really challenging. And so we're going to work really closely at plans to try to bring back some of our students in person where we think we'll see enrollment increase.
Thanks. Our next question, another question, Denver Post. Given the school year has started and there are some students without devices, how, if at all, are you amending truancy or discipline policies to address this?
Yep. So in terms of devices, we do have, as I mentioned, we got a big shipment of devices in on Friday. So if there are families who don't have devices, please do reach out to your school. We do have Chromebooks that we can continue to distribute, and we do have hotspots as well. We'll also support families in signing up for many of the affordable internet and free internet programs like Comcast's Internet Essentials program, which is free to low-income families. So there shouldn't be device issues. We've also worked really hard on creating new protocols for how we support students in a virtual environment, including code of conduct for students and how to apply any necessary discipline in a virtual space. The good news is the vast majority of our classrooms yesterday were filled with kids who are just excited to be back with their friends, even in a virtual space. And many school leaders shared pictures of their kids in class with me. It was a lot of fun to see that taking place.
Great. Next question is from Janet with 9 News. Another follow-up on the tech shortage. Are you still waiting on delivery of more, or has everything arrived?
So we got a big shipment in on Friday. We still have more that have been ordered, but we believe at this point that we have sufficient to cover any of the new students or broken devices. We want to make sure we've got computers on hand because we know over time things happen. We want to make sure that we've got supply if new students continue to arrive or if people have an issue with their device.
Thanks. Since you were Telemundo, let's practice my Spanish here. ¿Cómo califica este comienzo a clases? ¿Estás satisfechos con el comienzo a clases y los resultados?
Bueno, lo bueno es que realmente este año ha empezado en una manera mucho más fuerte que el año pasado con el aprendizaje virtual. Las clases tienen horas fijas. Los alumnos están en clase en las primarias 3 horas hasta 3 horas y media y también en las secundarias. Y realmente lo que están haciendo es algo muy bonito. Yo vi algunas clases en donde están involucrados en grupitos, haciendo muy como el comienzo de la escuela, actividades para conocer los compañeros del salón, para conocer al maestro. Realmente, aunque no es como quisiéramos empezar, para empezar en una manera virtual, realmente todo está muy bien.
Thank you. Melanie at Chalkbeat asking, do you have enough hotspots to cover all the students without internet access? Or do you still expect some students won't be connected?
Yeah, so we continue to have additional hotspots, and so we really want to encourage families if they're struggling or if they're using their telephone as a hotspot to get in touch with us so that we can get free hotspots to our families. At this point, we do believe that we have sufficient. It really is making sure that we've made the connections so that everybody has the resources that they need.
Great, thank you. And I'll just give you guys a couple more minutes or seconds if you've got a question, put it in the chat. Okay, that'll wrap it up. As always, if you have any follow-up questions, get in touch with me via email or phone, and we'll help you out. Okay, thank you guys.